Academy Live. My name is Anthony,
I'm Gabby.
and we are here to talk about voiceover. Voiceover. What's it like being a voice actor? Just a day in and day out
The
voiceover
day to
stuff
day, the
that we
things.
live. We live. So it's raining here, Gabby. What is it
Oh my
like over
God,
where you
it's
are? It's
it's
pouring
ick. It's
here.
ick. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been
yeah, yeah.
pouring. It's been raining. I had to
Mm-hmm.
take dogs to the vet this morning.
The dogs.
I've got my back seat is like a mud
Now, are
puddle
they
right now.
like good vet dogs, or do they like freak out at the vet? How do they? How are they?
Varies. Varies. Like I have three, and so each one of them, I joke that like they really are like exactly the pecking order of children. Like my
Oh, that's
oldest
funny.
is stoic and very chill and very much the oldest child, and he's just like, "Yep, okay, I'm here. I got to keep my siblings in line." The middle one is a complete spaz, doesn't know how to act, doesn't like understand social cues. And the youngest is just a big show off who's like, everybody's gonna love me and I'm a star.
That's funny.
They are,
That's
yeah,
funny.
they're so I had
I was
my
looking at Banjo. It's my Banjo's over here laying.
no.
He's just like, I'm not getting up. I'm
We
sleeping. I'm
baby,
sleeping, Dad. I'm not moving.
baby, I don't blame you.
So he,
It's too dreary today.
it
I've got
is.
my
It is.
to-go coffee
Oh,
because
I love it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've
No, you
been
got to do what you got to do.
mhm.
If you are just joining us, make sure you say hello. Drop a hello in the chat, where you're from, what's going on, and as always, ask questions. Ask away. We
Yeah,
love to get questions, to answer them, to even possibly do a whole session on them. So make sure you
sure.
ask questions there. And as always, check out VO Journey Academy. We would love to have you join us so you can learn and grow your voiceover business, especially over this summer. So, we are talking today about time management. I was joking with Gabby, and I'm like, I need to talk we all need to talk all the time. I think it is such a good idea to look at and constantly revisit
It's
your time
also
management plan, right?
for sure, and it's also one of those things where I just in today's day and age, people, we gotta give ourselves, like, some grace and some leeway and just be forgiving. It's so funny, like, we're gonna talk about time management, and there's something in my brain going like, "Shut up. You shouldn't talk about this. What are you talking about?" Like, because, like, some days I'm crap at it.
Oh
So,
yeah. Oh yeah.
we just have to be real about
Hmm.
the situation. It's tough.
Absolutely.
Um, like, okay, so time management for voice actors. We started, I think, yesterday on this topic, and really the big takeaway was prioritizing paid work and prioritizing the things that get us work. So, auditions.
Right.
And no doubt about it, like that's what we do. Like I will bump anything on my schedule within reason that I can for a paid session. No problem. Like whatever it was, it can be bounced till the next day if I have to.
Hmm.
But I'll be honest, sometimes with auditions, I don't think I'm as good as at that as I should be.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I like have to go, oh well, I've got, I'm doing some marketing today and I've got this email that I've got to get out, or I have this thing. And like, I'm looking at an audition that's not due till 5 o'clock. And I'm like,
Oh
oh,
my
I don't
goodness.
know if I'm going to make it. And a lot of times they slip through the cracks.
Oh, absolutely. I think a lot of times too, I don't know if anybody experiences this, but I'll be here and I'm in front of my computer and all of a sudden it'll be like and I'm like, and then I'm looking at something and I'm like, I should be doing something else. I should be, but it feels right to do this. And it's in my mind playing in there and be like, time's a wasting. And then you look at the clock, oh, there's a few more minutes. And
Yeah.
because a lot of now, one thing I have done, or where I recommend, is to actually, if you were like me and you're like squirrel, then you really need a calendar of some kind, some way to put specific events, even if we call event you doing an audition or something, to get yourself, because if I didn't have my calendar,
Mm.
every single day, I don't know what I would get done,
I
honestly.
would be a nightmare.
You
I
know,
live by
yeah,
my calendar. I would be an absolute nightmare if not for
yeah.
that. I can't even imagine.
Yeah. We talked yesterday briefly about as the primer to today. I was mentioning something that I always, kind of prioritize because part of I think your time management is also prioritizing the things that you get done.
Mhm, mhm.
There's this idea of the law of diminishing returns, right? And the idea is that as you plan to do more and more, the
Mm,
more that you do, the actual reality is the less that you accomplish or that you try to do, right? So for what we're trying to do, that actually says that the less we, let's say, put down on a to-do list, for example, to do, the more will actually get done.
true.
And I think that I fight this on a daily basis because I want to just like I have like all of these things that I should be doing every single day, but when I inevitably write them all down, I really only get to a few of them. And the idea is that by putting all that down and stuff, you're not able to fully go after those few 1 to 3 things that you really must do every single day or that need to be done.
Well, this is a great point. So let's talk about the tools that we use to help with the time management.
Mm.
Um, so okay, we said calendars, can't live
Mhm.
without them.
Mhm.
I use my Google Calendar. That's
Yes, me too.
my primary. My Google Calendar, because the Google Calendar allows me to create multiple categories of calendar
Mm,
and like sync them together, so I can have my personal stuff, I can have my business
right.
stuff, all of that. Um, and my appointment setting, it automatically syncs to everything, right? All my other devices, it's just super easy to access in multiple places.
Yes.
But I also use a tasks list.
Mm.
And then on my phone, I use my notes app.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I live by the notes app.
Really?
I mean, I will everything. Like I'm doing something, I'll pull it up, and I have a bunch of saved templates that I use. So for example, if you all God bless you if you guys watch every piece of content that Gabby and I put out. You guys are amazing. But I have templates that go with all of these things, right? And that's part of time management too, right? Is putting systems into place
Yes.
that allow you to move faster to get things done. So my notes app, I mean, I literally have one thing after another that I use for this and I use for that whenever I take anything, even when I'm trying to
Mm.
I use the notes app almost like probably a text editor. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mm.
the old text
Yeah,
app
yeah,
that you
yeah,
pull
yeah.
up and you just
Yeah.
write down because this is so bad. I know this is stupid, but I feel like pulling up, oh, I'm on a Mac. I feel like pulling up pages or Word takes too long. I mean, it's
Sometimes.
only a few seconds, but like I literally, my notes app is like, I mean, I literally keep it up and I'm just like, like whenever I'm doing something, that's what I use.
Hmm.
So another tip, right, I think would be to find the things that you feel most comfortable with and that you can use quickly and follows you. And the wonderful thing about the app is the notes app is it syncs to everything. So whenever I post something here or my phone, I can share. You can share anything through it too, but you can share videos through it. You can share,
Yeah. Audio
files,
files,
audio, everything.
pictures. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also this new update that recently happened with Mac, and there's all these cool new extensions that
Mm,
are related to the Mac suite that lets you do all kinds of additional syncing and categorizing, and yeah, it's really cool, and templates like you said. And then I'm
hmm
also guilty of this.
Oh my gosh.
I have so many notebooks and
I do too. Oh, you are so funny. Look,
like
I got I mean, I've got everything. Like
yeah.
I've got stuff flying around. I even got what is, I do oh my gosh, it's so crazy. I've got like I've got notepads. I've
Oh
got
my
like
gosh.
so much stuff
Oh my
everywhere
gosh.
because I love the tactile. I think I
Yes!
like the tactile feel of it.
Yes, I
Right?
still enjoy putting pen to paper like a
I just like
freaking
my
weirdo,
face full of it.
even if it's just to scribble, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, and so I think that, going back to setting up a plan. I think first off, a calendar allows you to look at your week, the
Mhm.
days that you're going to work, the times that you're going to work. Not everybody is as fortunate as Gabby and I right now to do this full time. You might be working a full time job. You're doing this part time. You're doing this at night. You get your family, so you have your time is very, very, very precious. You might have an hour here, 2 hours there, and you have to really manage that well. So a lot of times, or Gabby just said something earlier before about auditioning. So I always try to say, as a rule of thumb for auditioning, we should try, if possible, to keep an audition under 10 minutes. All
Yeah,
right. Preferably closer to 5, but 5 to 10 minutes.
yes.
Right. We don't want auditions going 20, 30 minutes. Some people, bless their hearts, they
Never.
go 45 minutes to an hour and they're so concerned. So remember, we have to audition. That's how we get work. But at the same time, we're not technically being paid for the audition.
Right.
So we want to make sure we do our very best job, of course, but
Quick, quick.
that we in a timely manner.
Mhm.
And if we realize that it's a numbers game, we have to get through enough auditions or the auditions that come into us in a timely manner in order to get the jobs, as opposed to one audition where they might not even listen to it, heaven forbid.
Yeah,
So I think all that plays into your time management too. You do the best you can, but in quickly, right, to get through it. um
absolutely. Whew.
so I use Calendly as a tool because it
Mhm.
does link with Google, and it links with my app, my Mac and everything, and that allows other people to sign up for things as well. So you may be in a situation where you are also trying to get meetings to, or set up a meeting with a possible client or whatever. Like, so something that I do is I work with, and we're growing that side, is working with a lot of independent publishers, people who publish books and want to turn their books into audiobooks. So we will set up meetings with them, as almost like interviews. I mean, they're like interviews. They set up and they want to know what we do, what we offer, et cetera, like that.
Sure.
And so that's a good way too to have something that, it's another tool that you can use as well. There's also more. I know there's like a Trello board. A lot of people love Trello.
Trello is very popular.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I really like the ease of that, moving stuff around. Tiffany got me on that one. So and then there comes to the point where I think inevitably we all have to take a step back and say, I'm going to play the devil's advocate. Do I need all of this stuff? Like, is it too much? So that's where I go personally. Use, if it's this, use that. If
Right.
it's your notes app, use that. If it's literally just Gmail, use. I mean, there's a lot of tools
Yeah.
right within your email, your Gmail.
You gotta find what works for you and what you're gonna stick with.
Hmm.
But I think there's another important part to this. I think there's also something to be said for routine
Yes.
and getting yourself into certain daily routines that make the whole thing easier because it becomes somewhat automatic, right?
Hmm.
So, like, there are things I don't schedule anymore because it's just routine, it's
Right.
habit. So, like, for me, when I start my day, one of the first things I do, and what I always shoot for is before 10 a.m., right? Because typically, most studio activity, things like that, they don't really get going till like 10 a.m. So prior to 10 a.m., I'm like, okay, I have to get any auditions knocked out from the night before. And then usually around 4 p.m., I have another sort of automatic time slot of like, oh, okay, I need to check on auditions that have come in
Mm.
during the day.
Hmm.
And then There's certain activities with regard to checking email, checking socials, checking Discord that, yeah, I've just gotten into the habit of doing in certain intervals. And I think the more we take advantage of that, and part of that, guys, too, is breaks.
Mm,
I know that sounds
mm,
crazy, but like the sooner you give yourself little windows,
hmm.
like to take a break or to have a playtime moment or to, like, I mean,
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but like, yeah, schedule 15 minutes where you just
Oh yeah.
fart around on,
Mm, mm.
Pinterest or whatever you like to do just to give your brain a break
Oh yeah.
and
Oh
then go
yeah.
back to the routine. Yeah.
No, yo, absolutely. I agree completely. So I was trying to think about some of the challenges. I think I hear people, right, will always say I don't have enough time.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
usually what we hear a lot. And as I sit here and tell you, I say to myself, I don't have enough time. But I think it's more for me, it's become more brain capacity or
Mhm.
being able to sit here.
Yeah.
And I think that makes a perfect argument for what you were just saying,
Yeah.
which is you got some, I mean, and again, I will get so focused on doing something, I could end up sitting here for hours and then I will get up and be sore. And from sitting here so much, and I'm like, I need to get up and move around. We've got to move around, and one little tip I saw, especially too with recording is that too, if you are doing, for example, something long, whatever we're doing, it's not a bad idea per page to take a after the end of each page, take a break, a few seconds, take a sip, stand up, move around, come back to it. You don't lose momentum, but it
Mhm.
keeps your brain fresh. Even in education, when you're teaching, we talk about there's only I mean, I would argue a lot less, but when I was teaching, it was more like 10 to 15 minutes was the max time you could expect someone to concentrate
The
completely
attention
on one
span.
thing before they needed a
Mhm.
break or we needed to shift their mind to something else because they would then just tune out. I mean, I would probably argue, unfortunately, with children, it's less now just
Yeah.
because of so much social media, but we're all experiencing it, all of us. So that means that struggles, and what you end up doing is what I was saying. You're like, "Grr," it just start going off like I don't know, and I'm like looking at something, and I'm like, I should really do this, but I really should do that, and nothing's getting done. And the next thing I know, I'm like, I'm such a loser. I can't get anything finished. I mean, this is how like I feel on a regular basis. I'm like upset with myself, and then I get upset, and I'm like, the whole day's lost.
We just
I'm
watched
never gonna
you
succeed at
devolve.
anything in my life. Like
It
that's
was
like we all feel these things, right?
devolving in real time.
It is.
But that's also decision fatigue, what you just
Right.
described,
Right.
and decision fatigue
Yes.
is
Oh, you're
real. Oh my
yes.
god, if we
Yes.
overload ourselves. Okay. So something I love for this, it's another time management tool, rock pebbles boulders, right? I mean, I
Mm.
know you've heard of this. You haven't heard of this?
No, what the world?
Oh, I love rock pebble
Rock
boulder. Okay,
Pebbles. I
because it
love the
also makes it
name.
a game, and I love that. Okay, so it's looking at your to-do list or looking at items that you have scheduled for a day and categorizing them. Which ones are rocks? Rocks are like medium-sized
Is
tasks.
that like based off of that old experiment or that thing where you put the big things in the bottom and then you fill it in? Like
Yes.
the most important things have to be first or something like that.
Well, it's more about what allows you to feel accomplished,
Okay.
right? So
Right.
like if you have a bunch of little pebbles, right? And if you're one of those people who needs some gratification to
Mm-hmm.
feel like, right, get
I
all your
need
pebbles done.
gratification.
Yeah, get all your pebbles out
I
of the way.
gotta
Like,
get the
oh,
gratification.
little task, little task, right? Get your pebbles done, and
Yes.
then you can cross them off, and you can feel really good about what
Oh,
you've done.
know thyself. One of my favorite quotes is know thyself.
Yes,
You have to know what is going to make you feel better. I love that.
for sure.
Yes. Yes.
And then you can either, some people go, okay, now if all my pebbles are done, now I'm gonna tackle a boulder,
Mm,
right?
hmm.
And then a couple of rocks, kind of thing. So it's another way to organize. And the other one that I like, and this is just for small stuff, This is always in the back of my head. I had a boss who told me this years ago, and it always stuck with me. Never pick up the same piece of paper twice. Like if you pick it up,
Interesting.
it is an interesting one. Like so, like for me, it might usually it applies to things like mail,
Okay.
or like correspondence of some kind. Like so, never pick it up twice. If you pick it up and you're like, okay, well here's a bill I have to pay, right? If you put it down for later, you're just kind of doubling your work. You're sort of doubling your effort. Like it's in your
My
hand,
gosh,
deal with
that's
it.
the story of my life,
Yeah.
Gabby.
Yeah. Like don't put it back down. It's in your hand,
I'm just gonna
deal with it.
throw it away.
Yeah. Right.
I know what you mean, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. I heard who was that? And I can't remember her name. And I apologize. As an amazing female author who wrote. Was it the 5 minute? Anyways, the idea is that an idea or a task comes in front of you, and
Mhm.
the idea is you do it right then
Yeah.
or finish it,
Yep.
because if you put it out to later, you'll end up forgetting it, and
Yeah.
then it'll just stack up, and you'll get like,
It
that
gets
was the
water.
idea, or an
Yep.
idea, or write it down, something like that. I don't know. I can't remember what it was, but
For sure.
I love that. Oh my gosh! But I feel like I'm famous for that. I'm like, okay, well, I'll tackle that later. I'll tackle that later, and
We
then it
all
just
do it.
piles
We
up
all
over
do it.
here.
We all procrastinate. I
Oy.
mean, and sometimes, and honestly, and I will be the first to admit this, I am a work well under pressure person.
Mm,
So sometimes I create my own pressure, like my own, like I'll like let it build up and then
right.
I'm like, oh my God, I have this mountain of shit that I have to do. And so then it forces me to tackle it. And because I feel like I'm under pressure to get it, yeah, then I just like get it done. So
That's a really good point. I bet a lot of us do something similar to that. But that's
yeah,
it. Yeah, because yeah. Because then when you get all this stuff, you're like, okay, now I have to work.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Now I got to
Exactly.
get it done. The
No
rest of the time, it's
distractions.
like, ooh, I can make a sandwich or no. Well, look, everybody, I think we've had a very interesting conversation today. Thank you all so much. But people didn't have a chance to ask questions because we were so crazy. I think that
There
was the
was
thing.
there's a couple of them. Yeah, I mean, mostly I think people were just kind of agreeing with us about
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
some of the apps and things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. So make sure if you, after our recording today, if you have some interesting, we should have asked, if you have some interesting tools that you use or you recommend or you know of,
Share.
please leave comments. And even after, this is over, you can still leave a
Mhm.
comment on there for other people who will come back and watch it later
Sure.
on. So thank you guys so much. We will see you all mañana.
Bye.
See you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.